Hey there, I want to do a cake town in Town Star. And right now, I don't know if you saw Salty Start, but basically, that's how I got started with this town, selling salt. And I let it run overnight, and I've got some money built up on it now. So, what I'm wanting to do is, first of all, I want to get rid of that. I was sending gas over to my daughter. So I want to start the tree growing process up this way, and then I'm going to utilize this area up to, let's see, 5, 4. Okay, so from this over to here, these 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 spots, you can grow sugar cane without any water. You can grow it passively. So I'm probably going to fill in this corner with sugar cane. I'm about ready to, I've got the salt going, and I want to get my tree area set up so that I can also set up my cows and start producing milk. So I'll have salt and milk. Then I'm going to also want to get the sugar cane going, which is why I'm doing this, and sugar. And that's what it takes to make butter. And that's what I want to start making. That's like, to me, the first step in the process of making cakes would be butter. So that's the plan, and I'll come back and show you when I get the water area set up. Okay, so another thing that I'm doing besides making a tree area over here, I am also going around and clearing off all the stumps and ponds or marshes and rocks that are not needed. In fact, I don't think I need that pond. I don't know why I left it before, but I wasn't desperate for money, and so it wasn't hurting anything, I guess. I'm going to actually put a pond right here, and I'll make this road next to the tree area paved as well. Go ahead and get that done. And I'm going to be clearing off all this stuff, just letting you know what my steps are. I had about $5 million a while ago, and so it's going through it fast, but I think we'll have enough to get at least as far as I want to get right now, which is making butter. So I'll be back. Alright, right now I've got my tree area pretty much set up, and it'll have to be tested really, but I think we're going to be okay with that. I've got some sugar cane planted, but I'm not ready to activate it. And for right now, I am planning to do some building. So I've just turned on the lumber mill, and I've got 20 energy right now, but I want to be able to generate energy as I use it. So I don't want to do that through crude oil and these power plants. So I am going to go ahead and set up a couple of wind turbines, and that should more than be able to keep up with the builders in this process. I'm going to go ahead and start building some farmhouses and some logger houses. So hopefully our money's going to hold up for some of this, but if not, I'll have to pause and figure out how I'm going to make some more money and then go from there. But right now I'm going to continue on and start getting some actual tractors and loggers going. So just letting you know, as you can see, I have removed all the stumps and rocks and marshes, everything off the map that we don't need. So and I've got the trees set up so that they'll be passively watered. It would be too labor intensive to water them, I think. However, if it were that that we don't have enough trees, I'll have to figure out some way to spread it out, and that might mean that I need to have them watered, but that is not going to be the plan initially anyway. So I will be back. Alright, I made another change that is maybe significant. Basically, when you have a let me think what it's called a minute. Cakery, and if you are making cakes, it doesn't tell you what ingredients it takes, but to make a cake, I believe it takes 3 batter and 2 or 3 energy. I need to look it up and make sure, but what I'm doing is I have moved this refinery back, and so I can remove this if I would like, and oops, no, I can't remove that. So that didn't really help the situation. I can put one here, but now that I've got that, I could actually remove this piece and put one here, and it would get 3, put one here and it would get 3, and if I needed to, I could change that area up and put one here maybe, or I could even move the fuel storage, but I'm probably not going to go to all that trouble. I need to look and see if it's 2 or 3 energy, but now I've got at least 2 spots that I can use to put the cakeries to make the cakes. So just wanted to let you know what I'm doing here, and got this road back, thank goodness. Thank goodness we weren't trying to sell. So right now everything seems fine. I'm going to continue building this out, and I'll do some research on the cakery and find out how many energy it actually takes to make a cake. I believe that it's 3, but it might just be 2. But anyway, I'll be back. Okay, I don't know if I'm going to have to change any of this, but I am getting way ahead without an update. So what I have done is I've set up a few tractors, and I've started setting up some windmills. Got a lot more to do, obviously. But also I set up an area for some cows and chickens. Now cows I will need when I'm planning to try and do some butter, and so uh, I will need milk for the butter. I won't need eggs, but eventually I'm going to need eggs for batter. And so I'm just thinking ahead. You don't have to do this. And what I might end up having to do, if I need another chicken house, I can delete this and put one over here, or just put one over here or whatever. But right now, what I'm planning to do, sorry, I've got a script selling my salt. What I'm planning to do is set up some ATVs right along here. Then they only take up one, so I will be able to, I'll probably just go ahead and plant 2 or 3 rows of wheat right here. That way we can get some ranchers feeding these cows and get us some milk. And I am ready to go with the sugar. In fact, I could probably go ahead and maybe let at least one of these probably, well, I'm not ready. I want to fill in some more windmills. I want one here and here, probably a couple right in this area. I'm probably going to delete this well and put one here, put one there, put one here. And so I've got, like, what is that, about 6 more windmills, or 7, 8, somewhere in there, that I want to get built. And then I will, when I start those up, I'll start a couple of them, and if I remove this so that I can put some what do you call it, wheat, then I will most likely let that be, and I can get rid of any of this road to put crops as needed, if needed. But if it's not needed, then the farmers can just get back here that much faster. And so I'll probably go ahead and do one, I think one sugarcane plant will actually facilitate 2. Oh, and I built another silo. I think it will facilitate 2 windmills. Now we have a whole lot of brine now that we've got some tractors moving, and I'm probably going to want about 8 salt, let's see, 2, 4, 6, probably a couple more salt windmills, and they are all going to be red, so don't panic when you see that. So what I can do is potentially, if I end up not needing that many salt, I could get rid of like some of these and a couple of ponds, and maybe make more tractors back here, or make more of the I still haven't made any loggers yet. Okay, those are going to be forthcoming though. So we will see, but right now I need to get a few more windmills made and get my salt figured out a little bit, start some sugar, and start these cows. And so that's going to require me to build about, how many ATVs here? Probably going to start with 5 and see how that does. And that's where we are. So I didn't want to get way crazy far ahead, but you can see all I'm doing is we're just putting pieces of road and buildings around it. So if we get rid of some of this, we'll have more room to put road and whatnot. If not, worst case scenario for that, we could put a builder's house there. because you always need builders for sure. So anyway, that's where we are. I'll be back. Okay, I turned on a couple of wheat fields. This one is yellow because I still have the um, wind turbine over there. We are running very low on energy trying to build these ATVs, and it looks like we have enough energy to do that. I might put another wind turbine off over here and maybe start clearing out some of those. We do actually, we're making milk. Yay! It's working great. We we may not need this many ATVs. I don't know, but right now I want to have them. And what I was thinking about is I want to go ahead and maybe build my first bakery, and that way I might, well, I'm not going to cancel those, but after these down here finish building, or actually they're going ahead and doing this one, I guess, because it's closer. So I want to go ahead and start doing that. So what I'm going to, I probably shouldn't. Let me just cancel this. I'm trying to get ahead of myself. I really want to do that, but I haven't started making sugar yet. So I've pre-planned some wheat development here. So this is sugar, and it is yellow from this as well. I'm just going to go ahead and move this so that we can get this stuff growing, and maybe put it right down here. I'm just going to, it may be slow because of these ranchers, or these 1, 2 over. Yeah, it will be slow because of that, but I'm just going to remove this for right now and go ahead and put a wind turbine here. It may take them a minute to get over here and build it because of all this other stuff. I'm trying to build everything at once. I get a little impatient, I suppose. So sorry if I have too many things going at once, if it's causing you to think that that I should be doing things differently. I probably should, but now I am wanting to, I'm just going to cancel this and let them finish that one because it's almost done. And I want to go ahead and make, I had said something about making some windmills where I can make some sugar. So let me go ahead and throw a couple of sugar making ones in, and hopefully I can get them going before very long, since we've already activated a sugar cane. I should have waited, but as you probably know already by now, I am a little bit on the anxious side, or overly excited, I guess. So we're about to have these going, no problem. So we've got milk, we're going to have sugar, and we're going to have, and we've already got salt. Okay, so we're making sugar there, we're going to make sugar here. and then I am going to drop, and you might think, well, it's probably not good uh, to drop it here, and you might be right, because right now we are using the lumber mill, and later we won't be. So I think maybe I'll just go ahead and put it right here, and maybe put one over here, and later when we're not using the lumber mill so much, then we can worry about going over there. Plus, I could go in this area. So we've got a lot of spaces. However, it's not just bakeries that we're going to be building. We're going to build probably 2 bakeries to make butter. We might even get up to like 4. And then we'll have about 3 cakeries making batter, and then maybe 2 cakeries making cake. Something like that. We'll have to balance it as we go, see what we have room for, what we can support. It makes no sense I could even make one right there, and it will have paved road access. And the thing is, you want the windmills, they're going to be slow and whatnot, and so giving them road access is, I think, a luxury that we don't have, because we're going to end up making a lot of sugar and a lot of flour and salt. So we probably need about, I want to say, about 30 windmills. So we'll see how that goes, if we can do that. This might not be a great setup. It might not be a great cake town, but we'll see as we go here. I don't know if you noticed, but I shut down several salt fields. I've got 4 shut down. So we're down to having 4 running, which, let me see, 5, 4, 3, 2. So we're still going to need this pond. If we get rid of these and the pond and this pond over here, then I could have, because of this road, I could build something here which might interfere. I might just want to make that a road so that it's easier access to that, and then I could build something here, and over here I could just make a road here, and it would facilitate all 3 of these spaces. So we might do that, but right now we are not like dying to have that space, so I'm just going to leave it in case I need to activate more of those. What I could do is, since this pond, let me see, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Okay, so it does not sustain this one, but it would. So those 2 I want to leave at a minimum. Alright, I heard something go off, and it's my bakery. Now we're going to make butter. We need 1 sugar, 2 salt, and 2 milk. And she will put the butter in the storehouse there. So, and look, she's so cute. And the little guy who does the cakery is even more adorable. He's got, she looks like an old granny. Reminds me of my granny. She used to cook everything. So, but the little guy who does the cakery, you'll see he looks like a little chef, but they make him so tiny that he looks, I don't know, very cute because he's so miniature. And I don't know many chefs. The only ones that I know are female, so I can't say if that's like a, a thing or not. Could be like Italian chefs or something like that are more petite men. I don't know. And I don't mean that to be derogatory to anyone who is a chef. I have one of my best friends is a chef, and she is amazing, and she can really cook. Okay, so we got the milk and salt. Now we're waiting on the sugar. Looks like we got some sugar processing, but actually it's going to be a minute and about 2 minutes, close to 2. So I am going to, I don't want to sit here and keep this rolling. It's probably going to be long enough already. But you can see that's the process. These guys are about to start having some sugar, so we're going to have some butter coming like right away. This is awesome, amazing. That's where I wanted to get with this. And I think what I'm going to do is I want to go ahead and create another bakery. So we can have at least 2 doing sugar, because I've got right now 2 doing butter. I've got 2 windmills doing sugar. I want to put more than that, but I think I want to leave these spots open for, so I'm just going to put some more windmills over this way, and we'll see how we're doing. It looks like with that sugarcane plant, like we could sustain one more. Again, I get impatient with the building process, and I know this isn't done yet, and I'm throwing something else out there, but I'm trying to remind myself when this gets done, I want to set it to sugar so that we can keep up. It looks like the brine, we're doing pretty well now. I've had to stop these and then flush the silo, but I think one thing that might be happening here is we might be having an issue where we're spreading our farmers too thin. But they I don't know, they look like they're keeping up pretty well. So if we add any more plants, we're definitely going to need more farmers. And I think what I'm going to do is take this road. There's a reason why I have not paved it all the way yet. I think I want to come across here and open up some of this area for building. And I've kind of marked off over here. We don't want anything that is too shade any closer than this right here. So I kind of use dirt roads sometimes to actually help me segregate areas so that I can say, okay, I don't want any buildings past here, and I try to keep all my pollution generating stuff back in the corner. So I know, I mean, these are far reaching. As far as shade goes, 3 is the worst, and it is the these and these. Probably not going to do any more silos. As long as we keep our plants and our usage pretty much geared. You don't have to manage it a lot. And that's one thing that is great about a cake town is, when you're doing the winery, when you're doing the still, the blue still. Still is not as bad, but the blue still really is. And you kind of have to keep an eye on things, and you tweak it, and it's like, okay, well, the lumber's slowed down, so the water's building up, and this and that, and you have to keep tweaking it. But once you get a cake town set up, there's not a lot of tweaking. You've got to tweak it and get it where you need it. But once you get it set, and you're like, okay, we're good on this and that, you want to set your scripts. So just in case, like if I said, okay, well, the brine, it looks good, I don't have to worry about it, but I've got 2 silos, and so really I don't ever want more than, say, 10 brine in there. So if you can set a sales script to say, okay, you've reached 20, it's going to be 10 more than what you set it for, then I'm going to sell 10 of them. So that way it'll keep you at 10. Or if you say, well, 5 is good, then you can do it that way. That way you can manage your storage space without having to worry about, okay, well, if I fill it all up with brine, then there's not going to be any room for sugar cane. And if I can't do the sugar, then that's going to put a real halt to the whole process, because you're going to need salt, you're going to need sugar, you're going to need flour, you're going to need, all of those things. So anyway, it'll make more sense as we go, but right now, I think this space over here is going to be plenty. I would love to have put the cows over next to here, and that's a tempting thing to want to do, except for if you do it that way, you'd have to put like the cows here and then your troughs or whatever, because actually, believe it or not, the cow barn, 2 shade. The chicken house, and I believe the sheep pen is only 1, but the cows are 2. So you'd have to have like a little row here, and then and maybe put a chicken house on this other side over here, or troughs or grinders or whatever, so you could do it, but I decided to just leave them over here because, as I've said probably 1,000 times already in this series, shade doesn't affect salt, so that is a blessing. And so I'm going to keep going with the build out. I'll come back and show you as I go what I am doing and thinking and whatnot. But right now, what I am doing and thinking is I am trying to just get everything set up so that I have butter. And sorry about that, I need to craft butter. Okay, so look, we've already got 2 while I was sitting here talking about all this stuff. This bakery person has been busy. We've already got 2 butter. It looks like sugar might be the holdup. So what I'm probably going to do is go ahead. Oh, that got done, and I probably activated it and didn't pay attention. Okay, so now we're making more sugar, and if we decide to make more than that, then I am going to have to activate another sugar plant. However, um, here's here's a thing. The Because we're wind blocking these 100%, we're making them their worst time. So their time, you can look at the windmill and see that the time is going to be 4 minutes on all of these. 240 seconds. That's 4 minutes. Divide 60 into 240, and it goes 4 times. That's 4 minutes. Okay. So what we are thinking here is that we know that we're not going to be able to spread out and get everything running optimally. So we're just going to have to cram them in because they're all going to be running worst case scenario. So we've got 3 sugar, and the way I'm doing it right now is probably not that good. It's better to me sometimes, like, okay, I've got a sugar cane here, and maybe this one needs to be sugar, and maybe make another sugar and a salt, and just kind of keep them all together. Maybe this needs to be sugar because these 2 are. Then I can know the ones that are right here are sugar. But it's easy enough to change them up. All you have to do is wait for it to finish processing and then stop it. And you can see here if you're waiting, and then just stop it and start it on whatever you want it to make. And then you're not wasting anything. Of course you can do it. I could have stopped that right then, but I would lose all the ingredients in there. And sometimes you may not care. Sometimes you might be like, you know what, I got 30 salt. I don't really care if I lose it. And then you would do that. But right now, I think that we are doing pretty well in that we're using up all of the sugar cane, and then the salt we may be let me see how many we have. We have well, all of them but 3. We've got 3 doing sugar. So 2, 4, 6, 8, 10. We've got 12 going, and so 9 are doing salt. And so we are not overly doing the salt. I mean, it takes 2 salt to 1 sugar, and we're showing 2 salt right now. But they're both waiting for sugar, and let me see, and they both have 1 salt in them. So I don't know. And the milk is, we've only got 1 milk. So you kind of have to see by looking at what are they waiting for, and then you can kind of tell where your bottleneck is if you have a bottleneck. If you notice though, we've already got 4 butter. Let's see how much the butter sells for. That's going to be interesting. Okay, so it's going to bring in 213K. So that's not bad. I need to change the script to make sure that it will sell butter. But everything looks like it's doing pretty well. So at this point, I need to monitor it. And so, but we kind of have an idea of this. These 4 salt fields are running 9 salt windmills, and the 1 sugarcane plant is running 3 sugar windmills. So that is good information. It if we added another, if we activate another sugar cane plant, then we want to add a minimum of 2 more sugar windmills. And you may be like, well, why would you need even more sugar? Because you seem to be kind of keeping up with the the butter production. When we get to the cake production, we are going to need to make a cake. You need 3 batter, 10 sugar, and 3 electricity. So that's when we're really going to have to kick in the sugar. So you may look at these and we just said, well, one plant runs about 3 of those. So 3, 6, 9, 12. So we may end up having one too many sugar cane plants, but we might end up needing all of them. I don't know. So what I like to do is have about 8 to 10 salt windmills, and we've got 9 right now. But looking at the brine, either I might need to just go ahead and stop another one of these. And see, now that we look at it for a minute, we've probably been selling the salt. So if we're not, it looks like it is building up. So with salt, I think we're good. I need to slow the brine down. I just did. And let me flush it after these little jinkies get some brine. I want to flush this again just to see if, well, I'm not going to flush it. I'll probably let me just stop an additional one, and I'll try and remember to start it back here in a few minutes. Okay, so that it shouldn't take but just a second for it to go down. Those little bakery workers, they're so cute to me. All right, so that's where we are right now. Let's see, where are we going next step? Next step, we are going to I would like to start building, let me see, 1, 2, over. That spot's okay. I would like to start building some actual loggers and tractors. I've got a fair amount of tractors. We're doing actually pretty well right now. All right, so we're down to 5 brine, so I'm going to go ahead and reactivate this one and see how that goes. But now you see I made some room, so really we could have some ATVs this close, but we don't want any tractors or loggers. We want them out about this far, and then in the center we can have some windmills. So that's what I need to look at and figure out. And this ATV could be a farmer at that range. I think what I'll do is build an ATV here and delete that one, make that a road, and delete this part of the road up here, these two spots, and then start figuring out how I'm going to build around and keep the crops from being shaded. Actually, we might only need the back two of these of the wheat, because that's 2, 4, 6, 8. Well, later in the game I might end up having to change things up. Right now I think I'm just going to leave it the way it is, and if we end up needing more space, then we'll have to put our road and maybe move some buildings, delete some, and recreate some different ones along those lines. But in the meantime, I am going to start filling in windmills. I can put 1, 2, 3. That would be 3 if I can get it to click. 4, 5. So if I have 2 more bakeries, that's what I'm going to do right now. Is I am going to get things, try and start getting it set up so that I can make some more well, I want to get some loggers. I think I'll have like a row of loggers across here, and get rid of these. It seems that with the water situation, the way I built it out, it might have been better to just go across here with the trees and have a road across and then build out that way. But I didn't do it that way. So I'm just going to stick with what I have right now. In hindsight, though, if it looks like this map doesn't end up working out well, then you can have that knowledge. What I could have done is just, since this is a river and this is a river, all this is passively watered, I could have just put trees all the way along the bottom and put a road across the top of them like this, and if you have this one pond, this row gets 5, and that'd be 6, 7. And then if you had another one like right here, then this would get 4, 5, 6, and then 1, 2, it'd be 7. So only the end ones would not be getting 7 unless you start with your pond on the end and then go, skip 2 spots and do another one. But there's a million ways you can do things. We're going to try this way, and hopefully, since I'm invested in it, it's going to work. I've probably spent $3 million already doing this, and now I'm already seeing, oh well, let me delete this ATV and put another one here, and that kind of stuff. But my goal is going to be go ahead and try and get, I don't don't know if I need more bakeries though. Maybe I need to go ahead and try and start working on making batter. So to make batter, if my memory serves, you need 2 butter, 5 flour, and 3 eggs, I want to say. Okay, so I've got my chicken house ready to activate. And so what I need to do is go ahead and go through here and get more windmills set up. In order to facilitate all these windmills that I'm going to have, I want to think ahead a little bit and realize, oh, you're going to need some loggers, because these lumberjacks, they're hard workers, but they're slow. So we really want to, let me see how many lumber I have. All right, when I get to 20 lumber, I'm going to, actually, I'm not going to turn it off, because what I'm going to do, yeah, see, I am selling salt. So we are still going pretty fast with that, but I want to ramp up the butter production at some point. But right now we're doing good. We've got 8 already, and I'm happy with that. So I am going to remove this guy, and let's see. If I want to be 2 away from that, so that'd be 1. This would be 1, 2. So this is as close as I want to be right here. So I am going to put a road piece right here. And then what I want to do is do the same thing over here. That's 1, 2. So this is as close as I want to be. So I'll put a road piece here, and then we'll have 2 in the middle. So that worked out actually perfectly. Let's see, we're going to I don't know where I'm going to put my windmills right now, so I'm just not even going to worry about them. I'll leave them where they are. But on this side, I want to go ahead and build a logger, because it is 1, 2 away from my sugar, and that's where we want it to be. And I'm sorry, having trouble concentrating. Now when it comes to this position, let's see, 1, 2, 3. So technically this could be a windmill, and this could be a windmill, and this could be a windmill. However, we don't necessarily want them in the extreme far away parts. So I kind of need to go through and figure out, I think I did not do that. You know what happens when you pave a road, if there's a building there already, and that's why whenever I create like cakeries or bakeries, I want to do it on a paved road. And the reason is, when you go and you pave it afterwards, and they may require a paved road. Let me look. I don't think they do though. Near road. No, they don't require paved roads. And if you go in later and pave it, I don't know if you noticed, but like if I go and upgrade this road, it's going to shut down this windmill unless I have another road beside it, because the road is a requirement. And so if we do that and it's about to process, or maybe it's even about to be done creating salt or whatever, then you lose every bit of the product. You see how this turns, these rings turn red? Well, it doesn't hurt really anything with the farmer unless they're carrying your last grape of your 10 and something like that. You would care, but typically you're not concerned that much about the farmer. But any crafting buildings, I really don't want to lose the product that I'm crafting. So once this road is done, once they finish paving it, then I can just remove this, and it costs me $1K, but it keeps me from having to wait. I think I was waiting on it earlier and then forgot what I was doing and went off and was doing other things. So I think across the bottom here we're going to go ahead and make some loggers, but I kind of want to leave right now, if I don't have to crowd that wind turbine, I don't want to, because we're going to need energy for building this stuff. And so I'm not sure at what point I'll do that, but right now they're trying to build this logger house, so they're not paying me any attention. If I could decide if I wanted to keep all that flour or that wheat, I would be better off to know if I could pull that road back, but I'm not going to right now. I'm leaving that alone. Okay, so really that's where we are. I need to start thinking about, I've already started thinking about tractors, and we have enough for the moment, but we don't have enough for turning on a lot more plants, many more plants. So I would say that along these edges, I probably want to be one over. In this area, I'm going to start building some tractors and loggers. So I think we just decided that we're going to try and start making some batter next. So that's what I'm gearing up for. And so this is probably boring everybody to tears. So I'm going to work on that and I'll be back. Alright, just wanted to let you know real quick that I just sold butter, and it appears that it gave us 1,980 points. So just letting you know. Thanks. Okay, I ended up having to make couple more farmers, and I've activated another sugarcane plant, and sorry about that, I am actually selling milk, believe it or not. So I've got my flour started. I've got a few windmills making flour. So what I'm going to do is go ahead and start the eggs up and see how that goes, see how bad it affects the milk production. The milk production is way above what I need. I could turn one of the cows off if I need to. They are like the chickens. You can tell them to stop if you want. I'm not going to do that just yet because I want to see how the chicken being active affects the cows, because the chicken is kind of greedy as far as they can just run over. The cows have to feed one at a time, but the chicken will just take three at once. And so if it's there, if it's available. And so I want to see how we do with that. I would go ahead and make a cakery and start making batter, except for the fact that I have run myself out of money. You can see I've got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 6 of these guys, but really that's only $1 million. And then however, I do have 2, 4, well, I've just got 6 of the 7 farmers, it looks like. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. So I've got 7 of those, so that's almost 1.4 million. So I got that, and then the 2 bakeries, and I don't know what else I've spent the money on, but I know that it's gone. We're less than 5,000 a minute, so that's not like horrible considering all that we have. But right now we are, and I'm on the monthly server, and now that I added these 2 farmers, all of a sudden I have a surplus of sugar cane. So might have to make another. I think I can make a windmill 1, 2, 3 over. Yeah, I can make a windmill right here without affecting anything. So that's what I'm going to do, and I'm going to make it do sugar. And I'm on the monthly server. I don't know if anybody plays on the monthly. I don't. When I'm not making videos, I don't play on the monthly server a lot, but it's good to get practice or test out a certain kind of build. Like if you have never made cakes, for example, and you wanted to give it a try, that's a good thing. But I have dropped all the way to 11th, and I was up, I think I was in 4th on the first day. So I am not doing the best right now, but I am sort of in a bind because I can't really do anything. Let's see. Okay, so I'm making sugar with that one, and hopefully we won't have a surplus of sugar cane. The wheat, you can't really, I've got it set up to sell on the script if I get more than, like if I reach 15 of them, it will sell wheat to keep me from using up all the silo space. The thing of it is though, I need extra wheat out there for these ranchers to feed the stuff. So you can't really just keep saying, well, I need to make more windmills to take up the wheat. We really don't want to use all of the wheat up. And so I think I'm going to actually sell some flour right now, or let me sell some butter, because it will give me like 200K. And then I'm going to sell flour, and now that will probably give me enough to go ahead and feel comfortable making one more lager right there. So I'm going to go ahead and do that, and I'm just going to keep building out. I want to build a cakery right here. I think they're called cakery. Yeah, a cakery right there to make batter, but I want to also be able to sustain things, and so I feel like I still need more loggers to handle all of these windmills. If you look around right now, they all, okay, so that one needs wood. Let's see how quickly. Okay, so they are quick to get over there. Okay, so the loggers are doing an excellent job. Let's see how long this one takes to get wood. They just gave it wood, so they're doing a good job, but we want to make sure they keep doing a good job, so we don't want to get ahead. Now you see I am building like loggers and tractors along here, and then I can start in the middle. I want to start building some windmills and build these out, and I'm gonna, that right there, I'm going to wait and see if I need to put like a cakery or a bakery there. I could definitely put anything that only gives 2 shade in that spot, so I could put a logger or a farmer, but right now I want to make sure that I don't need it for something else. And so that's pretty much where we are right now. Sort of struggling, but not too bad. And we're starting to get the pieces together, though. I feel really good about that. We've got the butter going. We've got the milk. Oh, look at that. We've already got 4 eggs. I wasn't even paying attention. Yeah, those chickens are pretty greedy, so I figured one chicken house would be enough, and it may be, but if I need to add one, that's not that big a deal. And now we got another logger, and I'll probably delete this guy and add another one right here next, but we're not financially able to do that yet, but we're going to have more things to sell. I think we're doing okay on gas. Not great, but okay. So that's where we are. Just wanted to give an update and show you what's going on. Still working on the build out, and I'll be back. Okay, I have made up a little bit of money now from selling everything, and I am going to go ahead and make a cakery right here. And what I want to do is once I get it made, I want to set it to make batter, but I want to show you that, and once I get it up and going and making batter, I'm going to end this video, this segment, because um, basically I've gotten to butter and batter, and I think I'll make the cake one a separate one. I'm sure this one's quite long. I'm not 100% sure how long, but I'm pretty sure it's long. So that's what I'm going to do. I'll be right back. All right, I am back. They've just built the cakery, and while I'm thinking about it, I just wanted to mention that I ended up putting a wood shed. I didn't have a lot of money at the time, but a wood shed down here, because when the cows or the chicken needs wood, the loggers will bring it, but the ranchers will go all the way up and get wood and then come all the way back. And so having wood right here is saving a lot of time. So just make note of that. Wherever you have your ranchers, you're going to want to put a wood shed nearby. Then when they actually, if they have to go get wood and bring it back, then when the first one that gets to the animal gives them wood, then the rest will just put it back in this one instead of having to traipse all the way back. Okay, so here's our cakery, and I think we discussed before that the cake takes 3 batter, 10 sugar, and 3 energy. And so we've got a couple places set out over there by the power plant where we're going to put our cakeries. But we are right now going to be making batter, and we're just starting with one cakery making batter. Obviously we don't have a ton of resources right now, but this will be just fine to start, to get us going. And what I might do, I might end up just going ahead and putting another storehouse up there. I actually, I'm not sure if I mentioned it earlier, but I actually put one down here. I always like to have extra room, and you can see that they actually had to overflow into it. I've been selling a lot of these ingredients, but obviously if you can hold on to your flour, your sugar, your salt, and whatever, and put it into something where like butter or batter, then you're better off because of the amount that the items sell for. Like batter, I think if he hurries up and gets everything loaded in there, I think we've got plenty of ingredients, and so I can show you how much batter we'll sell for before I end this. And I'm just going to let both of these face this road, that way if it's somebody over here or whatever, they have equal opportunity. Or I could face one that way and one this way. It doesn't really matter so much. But this is, oh, and let me get down here and show you this little chef. I was talking about it before, and look how tiny he looks compared to everything he picks up. It's just adorable to me. It's almost childlike. It's already a cartoon, so I'm not sure if he's got a red nose or what's going on there, but he is really cute. I like the little chef hat, and I still like the baker, but he's cute. Let's see what he's after. Some eggs, I guess. Those are big eggs. It's more like an ostrich egg than a chicken egg, if you ask me. But so he's got everything. He's got his last egg now. Awesome. Yeah. So now we're making batter. We can find out how much it sells for. I know everybody is ready for this long video to be over, so bear with me just a half a more minute and I will get you that info and we can close this thing out. And you can see what it looks like when he carries it out. It's just a bowl of batter. All right. So the batter sells for, I see him carrying the flour in. When they carry flour, it looks like sugar, sort of. I mean, they're like a little bit similar. But when you look at it over on the side, it doesn't look like sugar, or it doesn't look like, see, it's blue and white here. And over here, it looks white, which helps distinguish it from sugar a little bit, and from salt. But I don't know why they do it that way, but anyway, long story, for no reason. Let's see what our batter looks like. And if you don't have a little slidey thing like this, like on my laptop, I don't have a little slidey thing. I'm on my daughter's computer, and she has it, but you can just like click over to the side and do your right arrow and it will send you that way. Okay, so the batter sells for $589,000. So if I can, well, once I can manage to sell batter, then I will, I've got to do 10 of them, so it's going to be a minute. But then maybe I can make another one and get that going a little more quickly, and perhaps a third one. That would be ideal. And then we can worry about trying to get one over here next to the power plant to make cakes. So that's exciting. I'm excited about it. We got a lot more build out though before we do that, and I'll cover that in the next video. So I hope this was helpful and informative. If it was, like, share, and subscribe. Thank you for watching, and I'll see you in the next video.